that's kind of what I'm doing. And in another way, or another little anecdotal story I got is this guy, my high school English teacher, a woman I really appreciate. She went to this wedding because she knew the groom, who I forget the guy's name, but she said the guy looked like the $1 Million Man or the $6 Million Man. I forget that actor's name right off the top of my head, but he looked like that guy. This guy, the way he got started, or where he started, was he basically left his home after high school. He had like $600 in his wallet, or I think it was like $100 in his wallet, and his car, and that was it. So he had to make a living. He had to do something, and he didn't know what to do right away. But he thought about it, and the first thing he did was he went to the bank, talked to the bank manager for hours and hours, and convinced the guy to give him a loan for a couple $1,000s. He just used his own personality. He talked to the man, he convinced the bank manager, I will repay this money. And convinced the guy to do it. The next thing he did was he went to the Army sniper school, and he talked to the guys in charge and said, what is your success rate for your classes? And they said, well, we usually have about a 20-25% success rate. The guy said, I bet you I can double that. So he said, okay, give it a try. So he talked to this class of, just regular guys. The U.S. military, you have people from across the, board, all kinds, who all want to be snipers. And he basically told them positive thinking, to visualize hitting the target, closing your eyes, imagining that you're doing it right, doing everything right. And the result was like a 75% to 80%. I forget the numbers exactly, but it was like a very significant increase in success. And all through positive thinking. All through using your mind. And that's why, and then this guy later went on to do other things, but a lot of it was like motivational speaking work. He would teach people firewalking and, basically how to be, motivational in your own right and this and that. And the guy ended up becoming like a Fortune 500 member. This very wealthy, influential person. Now, when I hear these stories, that's why I apply them to myself. That's why I think, I can achieve a job. If not with G4, then with one of the guys I work with. I can pursue a goal and what I want. Or it's not so much what I want, but what I would really enjoy. So that's why I'm not worried about, success coming to me sooner or later. And I'm not worried about success not coming to me in this endeavor. You'll succeed and fail regardless of where you go. You just have to roll with the punches. So that's the other reason why I'm doing this video blog. It's to chronicle my path, but it's also to, let, anybody who wants to know, this is a possible path, or this is a possible way to do it. And if later on, if, somebody wants to talk about, what G4 was, what impact it had on society, and, what it meant to somebody, hopefully they can use this. So, I'm a history buff, at heart, so what can I say? Let's see, so some interesting things. On the show the other week, they brought on Kristin Holt, who, very interesting young woman. She was Dallas cheerleader. She went on American Idol and got pretty far. And even now she's a lead singer of a band. Very personable, very pretty, very beautiful. And but they put her on this interesting show on G4 called Cheat, which it's all about how to strategies and how to win and how to cheat, different codes, and stuff like that for video games. So on paper, a very boring, lame kind of show. But they put somebody with a lot of personality on there. They gave her some pretty good lines to read. And it's just a shame, though, that she has trouble acting. That's just, they kind of give her these oddball lines. She has great personality, but she's pretty stiff. It's pretty hard for her to just kind of make it carry it off or really make it flow in a lot of ways. But like I said, she does her best, and she does it well enough. For the subject matter, it's kind of hard. So she does pretty good with what she's given. But they brought her on the show the other day, for a couple days, in fact, and I think possibly to test her out, see how she could do in a live format, and especially in interaction with the other personalities on the show. And she's a little, still a little static, a little stiff. And there's one part where, in particular, she's looking at the prompter, or she's looking at the camera, reading off the prompter, and then she gets this shocked look in her eyes. And I so know what it was, is that she got a little voice in her ear saying, wrap it up. Because she's just got this shocked look in her eyes and starts speaking real quickly. And so I told you that's probably what they did, And it's interesting. What's interesting about that is a while ago, Kevin Pereira, or not Kevin Pereira, but they had on, they're doing a MySpace Girl of the Week, and they're outside, and the mic got mixed up somehow or other. So what the personalities heard on the earpiece, the audience could hear as well. And so it's kind of weird that you would hear this voice, saying things. And I realized that, it's the producer, it's the director telling the host, how much time they had and when to wrap it up. And it was interesting because, we could listen to it and hear it. And Kevin Pereira, just very smooth how he talked, and as the voice is speaking, he transitions without breaking a beat, without, any obvious thought going on. Just very even flow of how he transitions from one thing to the next. The guy's professional, but the guy's been doing it for a long time. So it's a real testament to his skill and ability. That he's able to do that. So I think that's with Kristin Holt, that was kind of the same thing. So, not to demean her or say that she did bad. I mean, she actually did quite good. It's just a different format for her. It was something new, and she'll learn. So, but where she really shined was in the off the cuff stuff, where she was just actually her speaking to somebody else. Quite funny, quite entertaining. So that was really good job. She really came through on that part. You really see why so many they like her so much at that channel, because when she was just talking one-on-one with people, great. Her personality just came right out. So let's see. And then something else I was going to talk about was how it's interesting how they have cheat, and then why do they have cheats in general? Why do they require strategy guides for video games? And it's because some of these video games just make them too hard, or they throw in all this stuff, and it's like, why? Why make it so that as soon as the game comes out, and for a lot of cases, for a lot of games, strategy guide comes out. So like the learning curve and just all the things they try to cram in there, and because there are some people that are obsessive compulsive about stuff, and they kind of do that. They want there to be a lot of things, they want to find them all, and there's also a bit of commercialism too. That let's make the game so hard that people have to buy this strategy guide. So it's just annoying, though, my opinion. Let's see. Now, I want to talk about the people who run G4. Not to criticize, but but I guess really, to criticize, but not to belittle, not to say that they're doing a bad job. I think they're a little misguided. I think that the way they are aiming the channel, the way they're trying to do things, I think they're going about it the wrong way. And I want to, bring up a good example of MTV. MTV back in the 80s, it's all about music videos, and they would kind of have some, whatever shows, but all about music videos, and going into the 90s, they realized that, hey, they can make some money if they had TV shows. So, you'd see this